The story of the dinosaurs is one that we're all pretty familiar with. Giant lizards ruled the Earth for over 100 million years. But then they all died out when an asteroid slammed into Mexico, bringing an end to the age of reptiles and making way for the rise of mammals. Except that story, while a fun action flick, isn't completely true. For starters, birds are dinosaurs. And while most of them did die out along with their cousins, the terrestrial dinosaurs, the birds that exist today are direct descendants of the dinosaurs that survived the mass extinction event. So instead of being an action flick, the story of the dinosaurs is actually more like a tragedy with a happy ending. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what the heck a dinosaur even is. The term dinosaur was coined in 1842 by Sir Richard Owen, who used it to describe a group of reptiles that shared certain characteristics, namely that they were quadrupeds, had a certain kind of hip structure, and were the biggest, baddest creatures around. More specifically, Owen was talking about a group of animals called the Saurischia and Ornithischia, or the lizard walkers and the bird walkers, respectively. These groups are now considered to be synonymous with dinosaurs, which means that not only did dinosaurs include both meat-eaters and plant-eaters, but some were also more closely related to each other than they were to, say, crocodiles, even though we tend to think of crocodiles as being more like dinosaurs than other reptiles. That's because the word dinosaur has taken on a life of its own, outside the scientific community. To most people, dinosaurs are giant fire-breathing lizards. But in reality, they were just a diverse group of mostly large reptiles that lived during the Mesozoic era, which lasted from about 252 to 66 million years ago. For much of the Mesozoic, these dino hips dominated the planet. They came in all shapes and sizes, and they ruled both the land and the sea. But then, 66 million years ago, everything changed. A 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into the Earth near the Yucatan Peninsula, bringing an abrupt end to the age of dinosaurs. Or did it? In reality, only about 75% of all species on Earth died out as a result of this cataclysmic event, including many of the famous dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus rex and the Triceratops. But far from being wiped out entirely, the event only changed the course of their evolution. See, the asteroid impact triggered a mass extinction, but it wasn't the first, and it wouldn't be the last. In fact, scientists consider it to be the 6th mass extinction event in Earth history. But there have been plenty of mass extinctions since then, and life has recovered from all of them. It's just that this particular event was especially dramatic and well documented, which is why we tend to single it out. As for how the dinosaurs were affected specifically, fossils tell us that the impact itself only caused a local extinction event in the immediate area. But within a few thousand years, the effects were global. Plants and animals that lived both above and below the water died out across the globe, and the diversity of life on Earth plummeted. But while the asteroid certainly delivered a knockout punch, the end of the dinosaurs didn't happen overnight. In fact, the fossil record shows that it took nearly 3.5 million years for life to return to normal. For the survivors, this meant struggling to find enough food and facing competition from new predators. But somehow, some of the smaller dinosaurs managed to make it through. And we know that birds are their descendants because, well, birds have dinosaur DNA. By studying the preserved proteins in their eggs, scientists have found that birds living today are the closest thing that we have to dinosaurs. They evolved from a group of small flightless dinosaurs called the Maniraptora, which includes the Velociraptor. So while the asteroid did cause a mass extinction, the dinosaurs that were most affected were the ones that couldn't fly, not the ones that could. After the asteroid, the Earth was a very different place, and the dinosaurs that survived were forced to adapt quickly. Many of the plant-eating dinosaurs went extinct because the asteroid killed off the plants they relied on for food. And those that survived had to start eating lower to the ground because all the tall plants were gone. Others got bigger so they could travel further in search of food, and some became scavengers. Either way, none of them were the same after the asteroid. So while the reign of the dinosaurs might have ended, their legacy lives on in every chirp and tweet.